instead of being honest with the American people, President Biden has claimed since the 2020 election that his family has not received money from China. That was a lie in 2020, and he continues to lie to the American people now.
The things they laid out today in that press conference, I'm never all, wow, the GOP, but man, they have uncovered some truly amazing things about how the Biden family has just been taking bribes. What exactly for? I don't know. They're going to go into all that. We'll ask Jim Jordan about that, but not just from China, Romania, Ukraine. Joe Biden, the Biden family is a crime family, and they are in trouble. The media has ignored it all day, of course, but Joe Biden, I've already said, I think the system is going to push him out because they want a different Democrat. He's too old and stupid and unpopular. I think today might have sealed it for Joe Biden. I don't know. Let's find out. Joining me now, Congressman Jim Jordan, chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. That's why we're actually finally getting some things done in this freaking government. Congressman, okay, break this down today, if you wouldn't mind, for people who didn't watch the whole press conference like I did. The Biden family and China, what's the connection?
Well, CEFC, this company with some shady backgrounds, was paying money to these various LLCs that were set up. Joe Biden said, no, we never had any business deals. My son never had any business deals with China. That turns out not to be accurate. But I think the big picture is what, 170 suspicious activity reports. And I always say the key word in there is suspicious, that our government, our Treasury Department put together about all these banking transactions taking place. So 170 suspicious activity reports that the committee's reviewed, thousands of pages of bank records that the committee subpoenaed and reviewed, show that there are over 20 limited liability companies that the Biden family and people companies they had ties to were set up that received millions of dollars from foreign entities, and that money was then paid out through these LLCs to various members of the Biden family. Joe's brother, his son, the president's sister-in-law, his daughter-in-law, all kinds of people got money from these companies. And it sort of raises the fundamental question, Jesse, why? Why did they get paid? What did they do? What service did they provide? What value did they add? What was the business they were operating? No one seems to be able to have an answer to that question. And that, to me, is the fundamental question. And frankly, the complexity of this operation, I think, was done by design to maybe hide how it was all working. But that's the big concern. And that's what the committee has now uncovered. And Chairman Comer pointed that out today in the press event.
Suspicious activity report. How does one even get rung up on one of those things? What constitutes suspicious activity?
I think big payments, money moving from bank to bank to bank. This was just 4 banks. Chairman Comer said there's other banks that they're going to subpoena records from. So that's the key. And again, this is our government. It's the Treasury Department. Some of these suspicious activity reports were put together in the Obama-Biden administration. So while he's vice president, our own Treasury Department, the Treasury Department in the Obama-Biden administration was putting some of these reports together. So that is, and why not just, seems to me also the fundamental question, Jesse, is why not just be honest? Why not just tell us the truth? Be straight with the American people. Almost seems to be a pattern with this administration. You got Mayorkas saying the border is secure. We know that's not accurate. You got the 51 former intel officials. Biden said that, this thing just sort of happened organically. He never told us that his campaign was actually involved in how this was all going to be put together. So why not just be clear? They told us that our debt ceiling bill was going to hurt veterans, which is not true. So just be square with us on everything, but certainly on this issue.
Well, I think we know why they can't be honest about that. What could a congressman, senator bringing in 165, 170 grand a year, not that that's bad money, what value could he provide China, unless it's taxpayer value of some kind? But it didn't stop at China. Apparently this family, they're world travelers. Romania as well. Was it the same kind of setup in Romania, LLC to sister-in-law?
Yeah, and it's like, it goes to these LLCs, the business partners, Mr. Robinson Walker and others get, usually it's a third. So 1/3 of it gets paid out to the Biden family, whether it's from money from Romania, money from Ukraine, money from China, all these. We know that Hunter took money from the wife of the mayor of Moscow. I mean, so on and on it goes. Again, that just is not normal. That's not how businesses operate. Why not just have one company? If you're doing a legitimate business, one company, you get paid for legitimate work. But there never seems to be anything you can point to that they provided any type of real work, real service, real value added. They just got paid money. So what were they doing for this money? Did they pay the taxes on the receipt of this money? We don't know that either. Those are the fundamental questions that I think everybody has.
I have a question I think I know the answer to, and I wish I didn't, but why are we just now finding out about this? We had to wait till Jim Jordan was the head of the Judiciary Committee. Joe Biden was vice president under Obama. Then Trump took over, so we supposedly had a Republican-led government, and now we have to wait till May 10th? Why are we just finding out about this now?
You know, it's the sort of the fundamental question. It's why we're doing the oversight work we're doing, Jesse. I do think that it's no accident that we also have learned here in the last few weeks how this whole 51 former intel officials put this letter together, how that was used, and the coordination that seems to have occurred with the campaign based on Mike Morrell sitting for an interview under oath and the answers he gave us to our questions. We know that Tony Blinken contacted him, and that's what prompted Morrell to go organize this letter, put it together. He said he did it because he wanted Biden to have something to use in the debate against President Trump. He said he did it because he wanted Biden to be the next president. And of course, we now find out that it was the Biden campaign was telling Mike Morrell, here are the reporters we want you to give this letter to. So we're just now figuring all this out. And, you know, none of this, we didn't know any of this over the last couple of years. So it's sort of the way it works around here. We got to dig in. We got to be in control of the Congress so we can do the real oversight that is warranted in our duty under the Constitution to get the answers and the facts to the American people. And we're going to continue to. But by the way, Jesse, on this letter, we now know that it looks like someone in the CIA actively recruited a person to sign the letter. This person who worked for the Publication Review Board, they called up an individual who actually signed the letter, Mr. David Carians, who signed the letter. He had another book he was writing in front of the Publication Review Board. They called him and said, hey, we've approved your book. By the way, would you be interested in signing this letter that other members of the intel community are signing? That is as wrong as it gets, and it looks like that happened.
It looks like our entire federal government has been weaponized against the right, and people are understandably overwhelmed. I hope you can unpack all this. Okay, I know I don't mean to change the subject. Maybe I'm not. I know we had an FBI whistleblower come forward and accuse Joe Biden of bribery. Dare I even ask, is that part of this, or is this a separate bit of corruption?
Well, it looks like it's part of it. Well, again, we haven't seen the document, but we've had a whistleblower who came to Senator Grassley. Senator Grassley talked to Chairman Comer. That's why he sent the letter to the FBI. The FBI is due to get back with us to Chairman Comer and Senator Grassley sometime today. I don't know if that's happened yet. We've been in a markup here in Judiciary Committee, but we'll see. The whistleblower alleges that there's a informant who has talked to folks in the FBI saying that Joe Biden took certain policy positions and policy actions based on some kind of transaction. I don't know if it's accurate. What I do know is a whistleblower that Senator Grassley thinks is credible came to Senator Grassley and said he thinks this actually happened. So you got a number of levels of, you got the informant telling someone, that person in the FBI puts this on a form called a 1023 form, which is the form used when informants give information to the FBI. And supposedly the whistleblower has seen that document. And that's what Chairman Comer asked to get from the FBI. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the FBI says. But again, Senator Grassley thinks this whistleblower is credible. So we'll just wait and see what we get back.
That's at least encouraging. Are we getting more? It seems like we're getting more and more of these whistleblowers, and I find that to be encouraging. Brave people coming out of what appears to be a very corrupt system to speak the truth. I find this inspiring.
It is, and we're going to hear from some of those next week. We think the plan is to have a hearing next week where some of the folks, the whistleblowers, have come talk to us, and we've had over a couple dozen who've come to our committee. We've interviewed several of those, and some of those who we've interviewed we think will be in a public hearing here in the real near future. We're looking at possibly even next week for that. But they have been, they're brave folks. Many of them, we believe, have been retaliated against for coming forward and telling us the truth. And so we're gonna highlight that in a hearing real soon.
You like what you just saw? subscribe to the YouTube channel. The First TV has a YouTube channel. It's outstanding. Go hit that subscribe button now.